fairly smart considering who we're talking about.
Right.
A lot of the Republicans are not for what he's talking about, and they're resistant, including the House Speaker, Paul Ryan. They're criticizing it for the simple fact that they feel like their new tax reform law and the stocks have gone up, and they don't want to jeopardize those gains by, shifting too much. And potentially it could create a tariff import tariff war with those other countries, because obviously if we're going to charge them a whole bunch of stuff, what are they going to do for the stuff that we're exporting to them and we're getting paid for?
Yep.
They're going to charge us a whole bunch too. So it's like, yes, on the one hand, it could create a lot of jobs, but it also means that we are going to spend a lot more money on a lot of other things that we do import. And we import a lot of shit. And I think people don't take that into consideration.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's one of the, I'm trying to think of the actual logistic term for shipping in and out, like through water like that. Like that's huge. That is a huge economic thing. I can't think of the words, but you know what I mean. Like that is, I think that it might be, correct me if I'm wrong, that might be the most consistent way that we get brands in and out of the country through water.
No,
on the ship.
You're probably right.
Yeah, I think so. So I mean, yeah, I don't know.
This one I'm gonna kind of wait to read more about, because remember, what we have to remember is that what Trump is good at is business. Or when I say good at, I'm putting that in air quotes for everybody who cannot see me, because there are a lot of business tactics that he's obviously trying to use as a president that do not work. But some of these things, when it comes to economic policies, not just the ones that benefit rich white people, but the ones that benefit everybody, that he may have some good ideas or not horrible trash ass ideas as the rest of them. So I am going to wait to hear some more information on this, just because I am interested to see if we start using more of our own materials and our own resources, what does that mean for our country? Now, does that mean that we get greedier? Because we know we're good for that shit. So I guess it's just still, it's a little too early to see. So
yeah, no,
because you want to say, yay, go USA, like let's, help ourselves, and it sounds good to put more steel and aluminum workers to work.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people who have worked in factories in the last 10, 20 years have been losing jobs because robots can do everything.
Yeah.
And that's hurting us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you take the approach he's taking, doing the whole business thing, you have to take the consideration that the president of the United States takes when making decisions is the billions of people that it can possibly affect.
Right.
When you're doing a business, when you're doing a business transaction, you might have to worry about one or two, maybe a staff of people, maybe an office building with the people, maybe just your company with whoever, not the whole country.
Right.
So.
And
just like you said, it might have been a business. It might have been a good business. Right. If you were standing there with a suit as a CEO of a Trump company, but not as the president of the United States, where you're representing billions of people. That's a whole totally different thing.
What I found the most ironic, though, is he mentioned China and us basically trying to block the faulty materials that China, that we get from China or whatever. However, as Hillary definitely went hard in the paint talking about during the campaign, the Trump companies were one of the biggest contributors or people who were getting that Chinese steel. So it's kind of like, oh, okay, it's fine for you to use Chinese steel, cheap, cheap materials and all that stuff for all these grand hotels and casinos and all the stuff that you're building. But when other companies try to use it, oh, suddenly China's got bullshit and you shouldn't use it and we only support US. Like you haven't always supported US.
Right.
So it's just kind of ironic that now he's singing a different tune. But I guess we know Trump and that's what Trump does. So the last fail, and this is a very, very big one. So for all parents who are listening or friend of a parent, an aunt, an uncle, any of that shit, pay attention. There are tons of apps out here, and they just keep making more that are on Play Store, and they will advertise to your children on even if they are on a kid-friendly site of other apps they should download. And so we all know the dangers of Snapchat, and if you do not, it's basically horrible. Basically, a Snapchat, you can post a picture that like disappears, and so it's untraceable. Basically, your parents, if they go to track what you posted for the day, won't be able to see it. So you might have posted a boob or fuck you bitches or I want to kill myself or anything crazy, and your parents are unable to see it once it disappears. So there are a lot of apps out there with this disappearing app, including an app called BeeTalk. BeeTalk is known for focusing on video, live streaming, and basically you put it out there. It's already out there. We already know how that works, but it also has a Whisper app that allows anything that you message to disappear. And so like if you have if you're trying to be vigilant, you're like, oh, let me check my kids' text messages, and you like go even in the deleted messages, you can still bring that shit up. Right. On this type of app, you can't. It's gone. Like, so you have no idea. So like if you have teens who are impulsive, as they all are, then this is a problem. Same thing. There's another app specifically called Whisper. It's separate from the one above, but on this one, it encourages interaction with strangers because your posts are shared with everyone who's in your same geographical location. So if you're in Columbus, it shares it with everybody in Columbus. So obviously there's tons of creeps in Columbus and everywhere else. So all of your child's like pictures and whatever messages are untrackable by a parent and being shouted out to different strangers.
Jeez.
Same thing with this another one called WhatsApp. Basically the same thing, and there's even tutorials on how to make fake screenshots and conversation on this app, so that you can purposefully fool your parents about what you're texting and what picture you're doing.
That's the app.
Did you know that? Purposefully fool parents. Yes, it shows you how to make fake screenshots. Now,